Oh, okay. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today is going to be another what Beth thinks and why Beth's annoyed today. I've had a rough couple of days, not gonna lie. I've been struggling with, I feel like fucking Bo Burnham. I just watched Inside. It was great, but I just felt so drained after it. I'm like, oh, cheer up. Anywho, I don't mean it that flippantly, but I was a bit like, oh my god, this is so miserable. Anywho, I'm feeling miserable, so I'm going to inflict that on all of you. Unfortunately, not like Bo, I will not be getting monetary gain. But there you go, at least it means that it gets off my chest and goes onto yours. For you. Oh. So, to explain this, I didn't know how to measure my ring finger. So this ring is way too big and I don't really want to damage it by getting it fixed. So for now, I'm using a ring adjuster. Anywho, oh, it's so warm, but I can't open the window because you'll hear all the background noise. So yeah, it's been a tough couple of days. I've been struggling on social media. Is that child smoking? I mean, he's probably about 20, but no, sir. Every day there's something new that comes out about me. Why am I so sweaty? Just had my COVID jab and I'm like sweating like a bad man ting. I don't know why. I think because I had to walk down from the car park and I was getting all stressed. Let's focus, Beth. Okay, Beth, let's. So yeah, every day I feel like there's something else that I learn about myself, and I won't lie, 9 times out of 10 it's something fucking negative. So yeah, I've been having a really bad couple of days just with like social media and social media friendships and how much I post on social media and how likes reflect how I view myself, all that bullshit. I think to a degree anyone who is prolific on Instagram or social media knows how that feels. I think we all get a little bit obsessed with likes and numbers as opposed to actually interacting with people. But it got me thinking, why am I like that? Because of course I can't take any responsibility for myself. I must blame everything on trauma. No, I'm kidding. I do take a lot of responsibility for the way that I am, but I think the only way you can learn how to... The history book on the shelf was always repeating itself. Like, you know, if you don't learn why things are the way they are, then they will continue to happen and it will be a pattern. So I was trying to think why I'm so obsessed with numbers and social media friends, because don't get me wrong, my dance card is full, baby. Like, I'm up to the gills with social interaction. I can't handle anymore and I can't take on any new friends. Applications have closed for this current position. Like, I can't handle anything else. So it's not about having more friends. So I was like, why am I so obsessed with like whether people interact with me and if they interact with someone else? And it's a way I've always been. Always. It's my worst trait. Tried to give myself curtain bands and it's not really worked. Okay, that's gonna have to do. Yeah, so I am like absolutely fun. I've got so many friends. I'm really happy. I was, you know, really desperate about a year ago for friends, and like any friend will do. Like I'd put up with anyone treating me however. And I think I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, no, the people that I am close to now are people that I'm happy to have in my life. And like I've said before, I've reconnected with some people who I grew up with and who I knew when I was a Jehovah's Witness, who were like the best people ever. Not Jehovah's Witnesses, the people I knew. So that's wonderful, but I just have this thing where I'm like so jealous about other people's interactions, and I think that people are so close when it doesn't matter whether they are or not. And I was kind of trying to work it out, and I think for me, we moved a lot when I was younger, so I would say only for a couple of years at a time were we in one place, and I think that's really like messed me up, because I always felt really disjointed and like separate to what was happening, because we were always moving and there was always change. And I don't know if you guys keep up to date with the social media drama, probably not, because you're grown adults unlike me apparently, but Trisha Paytas and Ethan Klein just had a big falling out, and they were like, they hated each other about a year ago, and then Trisha started dating Ethan's brother-in-law, and so they like started a show called Frenemies, and that's all gone up the shitter, down the shitter, up the shitter, it's gone into the shitter. And I can like so empathize with who she is as a person, because I feel like for me I am similar to the way she is, because I never had a chance to get to know people long enough, or like socialize with people long enough to have friends and to go through the bad and to go through the good. I only had a couple of friends like that, and so I find it really hard to keep friendships going and to not self-destruct things. So that's really difficult. I think the jealousy comes from just, I think it's incredibly basic, it's just my insecurity. I've got a real problem with paranoia. My anxiety manifests itself in paranoia, and I don't think social media is a good place for me. I think I'm going to come off Instagram for a while, maybe Facebook, but maybe I'll keep it, because there isn't really much like, it's not like Instagram where you see everyone's lives and start to feel like you're the only person who's not doing anything. So I think I'm going to come off that for a little while. I don't really use Snapchat, I only really use it to like watch other people's stories, so maybe I won't use that, but then people that I follow don't really post about their social life as a Snapchat. Anywho, yeah, it's really difficult at the minute, and I'm really struggling. I'm finding it very difficult to not get into like arguments all the time, and to stand up for myself but not be so overbearing. And I think that's always going to be an aspect of my personality. I think I've just got to learn how to not give so much and expect so much back, and that's really hard, but I think I've just got to focus more on like being happy with my own company, doing things that make me happy. I've got to start up a hobby. Like, makeup's great, but it isn't really a hobby at the minute, so I've got to start something. The gym's been great, but I don't know, I'm just really like, I'm just in a real rut. I don't really want to do anything, you know? I think as well, there's been a couple of interactions recently where, and this could be controversial, but it's how I feel. I'm kind of tired of reserved and quiet people having the monopoly on mental health issues. I'm really tired of that, because it does feel, as someone who is outlandish and outspoken and out there and social and, you know, like post lots on Instagram, it starts to feel like people think that you aren't allowed to have mental health issues if you are outgoing and vivacious. They expect you to, you know, act in the same way they do. And if you're strong, quote unquote, and people, because I don't know how people view me now, but I know growing up I felt, because people would always praise my strength and how strong I was and how resilient I was, I felt like I had to be like that. And so I get so tired of people being like, but you know, this person is really strong and they're having a go at this person who's really quiet and shy and reserved. And it's like, we all have mental health issues and we should all be called out for our bullshit. Like, I just feel like there's a lot of people who you feel like you can't say anything to because they are struggling with mental health issues. And I'm like, yeah, but so am I. And it feels like you're not allowed to have problems with people who are quieter and more reserved because you're strong and you're this aggressive person who's coming in and being the stronger one in the relationship or the dynamic, and there's like a power struggle where that's not how it works. The only really power dynamic would be if you've got like loads of money and loads of friends and like their boss, you know. I feel like just because you're a strong person and an outspoken person who can stand up for themselves doesn't mean that your boundaries and your opinions on things don't matter. And if you feel offended by something that someone's done, you're allowed to call them out on their bullshit. You don't have to just sit there quietly because they don't think it's a big deal to them, or because they're reserved and quiet and they've been through stuff. It's like, but so have I. So I'm allowed to call you out, because if I'm insulted by something you've done, then that's probably because of my mental health issues or my trauma that has made me sensitive to that. So if you're allowed to be sensitive and not have to deal with people calling you out, then you shouldn't treat people that way, because my trauma and my self-esteem issues are affected by the way that you choose to act. This is going to be quite a short video because I'm kind of done. Like, that's it. I think the summary of this is I'm just really tired of trying really hard with people and never getting anything back like that, or being very, you know, chill and like I don't take myself too seriously and I'm able to identify my issues, but then people taking advantage of that and treating me badly or putting motives on me that aren't there. I'm just really tired of people not thinking that when I'm being kind, that I'm genuinely kind. People always look at you and seem to, no one trusts anyone anymore. Like, everyone thinks that everyone has an agenda, and you just don't. I've got so many people who recently, it must just be me, I must just come across as fake, because there's so many people who just don't seem to trust that my intentions are sincere and that I'm genuine. And I'm like, no, I genuinely am a kind person. I'm trying to include people. I'm very thoughtful, and people seem to think that that's like a bad thing because I'm trying to like have an agenda, and I don't know. I think I'm just really tired of feeling like a scapegoat for a lot of things, and because I'm strong and big and brash and outspoken, that I can take everything, and I really don't bite until I'm bitten at. So I don't think that that's a valid reason for people to start treating me badly, because just because I'm outspoken and loud and articulate doesn't mean that I don't get insulted and offended when people treat me badly. And I don't think that I am particularly inflammatory to people. There's certain people who I like me and my sister Amber, we're in a really good place now, but I'm like really inflammatory to her. Like, I can't seem to like talk to her without stepping over a boundary or insulting her, but she's kind of the only person I can think of that I have that relationship with, and I think that's just because like of experiences we've had growing up. But I don't really get it. I really don't get it. And it's so exhausting when you are a genuine person who tries really hard and tries to have friends. And it's the fucking 1%. Like, let's not get it twisted. I have so many incredible friends, but of course, human nature and just who I am as a person, I can't help but focus on the negatives. So, you know, I'm really happy. And like I said, I don't have space for any more friends in my life, but for some reason I still want to like collect them like Pokemon cards. So yeah, I think I'm gonna come off social media for a bit. I hope that, I mean, this isn't going to be helpful because it's basically just me getting upset and having a rant, but there you go. Anywho, I might not post this, we shall see. I say that every time and I always post it because I'm just like, let's just be transparent. I might do a video tomorrow just to counteract this one. Like I said, I've just had the COVID jab, so we'll see. Ow, why did I hit myself on it? We'll see how I am tomorrow. I've had the Pfizer one and so far I'm feeling absolutely fine. She says, after just ranting about people not treating her well when there's literally like 2 people that I'm talking about. Anywho, yeah, I think I need to learn how to take a step back and put in less effort. My mum always said mirror people, but I've always gone to the point of putting in loads of effort by the time I realised to mirror people. So I think I need to start at the beginning of the relationship, realising to not put in too much effort and to just hold back until people have earned my friendship, I suppose. Anywho, yeah, maybe I'll see you tomorrow if I decide to do a makeup video to make up for this shit show. But regardless, I will see you soon. I hope you enjoyed this little rant. Sometimes I don't have a moral to the story, sometimes I'm just angry. And thanks so much for sticking with me. Love you lots, see you soon. Bye. For God's sake.